Before dawn, the road to Horton Plains climbs through sleeping tea country and into another climate altogether. The air sharpens. The scent of eucalyptus fades into wet earth and moss. By the time the first light reaches the plateau, the landscape no longer feels tropical. It feels suspended, a high-altitude world of cloud forest, wind-shaped grasslands, and sudden silence. Perched between 2,100 and 2,400 meters above sea level, Horton Plains lies on the southern edge of Sri Lanka's central highlands. Long before it became a national park in 1988, this vast plateau was known as Maha Eliya Thenna, the Great Open Plain. The British later renamed it after Governor Sir Robert Wilmot Horton, but the older name still feels more fitting. This is a landscape defined by openness, wide skies, rolling grasslands, and valleys that disappear into cloud. During the British colonial period, these cold uplands became a favored hunting ground for colonial planters and sportsmen. The plains once echoed with mounted hunting parties in pursuit of elk and wild game. Among those drawn to these highlands was the famed explorer and big game hunter, Sir Samuel Baker, whose name still lingers here in Baker's Falls. In 2010, Horton Plains, together with the Peak Wilderness Sanctuary and the Knuckles Mountain Range, was inscribed as part of the Central Highlands UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognition not simply of beauty, but of ecological rarity. The plateau exists in a constant negotiation with weather. Mist sweeps in without warning. Rain appears sideways. Winds during the southwest monsoon can reach gale force. Yet within this harsh environment thrives one of the richest montane ecosystems in South Asia. The forests here are compact and ancient-looking. Twisted trunks disappear beneath layers of moss, orchids cling to branches, slick with rainwater, and lichens spread across bark like pale maps. Scientists continue to discover species here even now, including previously undocumented lichen genera in recent decades. Nearly 750 plant species have been recorded across the plains, many found nowhere else on Earth. Then, without transition, the forest opens into grassland. The change is dramatic. Golden plains ripple beneath moving cloud, while narrow streams cut through the earth with startling clarity. Rhododendrons bloom in bursts of crimson along the trails, and dwarf bamboo bends low against the wind. Researchers still debate how these grasslands formed. One theory suggests centuries of human intervention and repeated burning. Another argues they are entirely natural, relics of a prehistoric climatic era preserved in the highlands. For hikers, Horton Plains unfolds in layers. The trails move through alternating forest and open terrain, revealing details gradually. The sound of hidden water, the sudden movement of deer in the mist, the distant call of endemic birds. The plateau is also home to Sri Lanka's second and third highest mountains, Thotupalakunda and Kirigalpotha. And while Thotupalakunda rises through mist forest and grassland, Kirigalpotha offers one of the island's most rewarding wilderness hikes. The trail stretches nearly 15 kilometers through isolated montane terrain, where shifting cloud, high winds, and immense silence create the feeling of walking across the roof of the island itself. The journey is less about conquest than immersion, a slow passage through one of Sri Lanka's last great highland wildernesses. The most commonly seen mammal is the samba deer. Thousands roam the plains, often appearing ghost-like through the morning fog. Yet beneath this calm surface lies an ecosystem of extraordinary biodiversity. The park shelters toque macaques, purple-faced leaf monkeys, a variety of lizards, and the elusive Sri Lankan leopard. One of its rarest inhabitants is the Horton Plains slender loris, among the world's most endangered primates. Bird life here is equally remarkable. Horton Plains forms one of Sri Lanka's most important highland bird habitats. The plateau is also home to one of Sri Lanka's great watersheds. Streams born in these mist forests eventually feed 3 of the island's major river systems. Water gathers here before beginning journeys that shape the lowlands far beyond the mountains. One of the park's most visited landmarks is Baker's Falls. Though modest in height at around 20 meters, the waterfall emerges through thick vegetation in a setting that feels almost enclosed by forest. The constant spray cools the air, offering a pause along the trail before the landscape opens once more. And then comes the escarpment. World's End arrives without warning, an abrupt drop of nearly 870 meters at the southern edge of the plateau. On clear mornings, it offers a view which stretches across distant valleys and tea estates, all the way to Sri Lanka's southern coastline. But the mountain keeps its own schedule. Wait too long, and cloud closes over the precipice completely, erasing the view in seconds. Nearby lies lesser World's End, smaller but no less dramatic. Yet Horton Plains is not untouched wilderness frozen in time. Climate change, invasive plant species, soil degradation, and a mysterious forest dieback continue to threaten this fragile ecosystem. Some trees stand skeletal against the mist, reminders that even ancient landscapes can become vulnerable. And perhaps that fragility is what lingers most after leaving Horton Plains. Not simply the scenery, but the sensation of standing inside a living watershed above the island, where forests gather clouds, rivers are born, and the weather itself shapes every contour of the land